Public Safety Committee to order, please.
I can find it.
We'll start with Veterans Office. Mary Hugh, be here in a minute. All right, move to County Sealer, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Chairman, I have a report. I'm here to answer any questions.
Any questions for the County Sealer? Okay, thank you very much. Board of Elections. Mr. Woody? Any questions for elections? Thank you. District Attorney? We'll be in a minute. Emergency Services, Mr. Jaquish.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The only resolution I need today is permission to expend the remaining state homeland security funding for grant number 14, purchasing 19 portable radios for fire coordinators at the price of $35,097.75. It's all grant money, is grant funded by Homeland Security.
Make a motion. Mr. Moore made the motion. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you. Mr. Preston, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mike, are you going to come up separately?
I can do it now.
Yes. If you would. Jack.
Yes.
Donnie's office needs a resolution to apply for and accept a Homeland Security PSAP grant 2015-16 in the amount of $181,398. There's no match for this grant. If awarded, we'd be using that money to sustain the PSAP center and help offset some employee costs.
Great. Mr. Conklin? Motion made by Mr. Connell, second by Mr. Morrow. Any discussion? Mr. Mayor?
Just that last comment, what did that mean about offset some employees? What did you mean by that?
Essentially, over the last couple of years, and jump in if you have to, Donnie, Homeland Security has recognized the cost associated with operating public answering points, and they've allowed us to upgrade some of our equipment as we go forward to providing next generation 911 service, which is nice because a couple of years ago, as Mr. Palmer will remember, we were going to have to budget a significant amount in order to make those upgrades and meet the mandate of the state. So the state has come with a funding stream that helps us meet those demands. They also allow that we get back some of our administrative costs, which include costs for dispatchers and those sort of things. So there is a small amount applied for in that grant to be able to do that. It'll help us hopefully control our costs long term with equipment upgrades, maintenance contracts, and employee costs.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Thank you.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Any further questions for emergency services? Thank you. Going back to Veterans Office. Anything, Mr. Marion?
Nothing to report. There was a nice article last week in the paper about the memorial wall and the funding, so that is available for people to buy memorial bricks for the internal wall. And I'll try to, like we said before, bring that information here to the board so we have more literature possibly to hand out at the town halls also.
Okay, thank you. District Attorney?
Thank you. I just wanted to take the opportunity to say goodbye to those that will not be with us next year, and I want to thank you for the consideration, the time they gave my office whenever I'm up here asking for stuff. So I wanted to just send my best wishes, and for those that aren't here, I'll try to get a hold of them as well. I also want to just update a little bit, no real report, but we had two big appellate division decisions that came down, and one of them was Paul Taylor, which was one of the three individuals was convicted for the manslaughter and the murder of the individual out of Keysville. That one was upheld by the appellate division, so it will not be coming back. And Richard Monroe was a very serious child sex abuse case where we received a conviction and 25-year sentence, and that one was also upheld. So I just wanted to let you know that those two big ones are now put behind us. But other than that, I have no other report. If anybody had any questions for me.
Any questions, District Attorney's Office? Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Public Defender, Mr. Bedell?
Good morning, everyone. First, I guess, request for resolution. I was going to ask to borrow 19 days of my military leave from 2016. I'll explain why. The federal government runs their fiscal year starting in October, and my annual training, the way it lined up this year was I did my FY15 training at the end of September before the end of that fiscal year, and then my 2016 training was in November, beginning of the new fiscal year. So assuming the world doesn't fall apart, I shouldn't be going anywhere else. So if possible, to use that 19 days from next year in this calendar year to, I guess, cover my training from the FY16 fiscal year for the government.
Ms. Whitson?
Yes.
Motion, do I have a second? Mr. Preston, discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries, thank you.
Thank you. Also, bring to your attention a bill that's in the Assembly right now. It's called the Fahey Bill. It's Bill A06202. It's a bill that would, by the year 2017, would require the state of New York to fully reimburse counties for all costs of indigent defense. Right now, as you know, with the Harrell Herring settlement, there's only 5 counties out of 57 counties that are being fully reimbursed by the state. And the state knows that these other counties that aren't being reimbursed, that they're liable or potentially liable or open to more lawsuits. So there is some legs with this bill. I mean, it sounds like a pipe dream, but I believe this was discussed at the Association of Counties meeting. I believe Stephen Button, the county attorney for St. Lawrence County, has been doing a lot of lobbying, but I mean, there is some promise, and this would take the entire expense of indigent defense away from the county. If possible, if you can take a look at A06202. It's basically an amendment to the County Law 722, and maybe in the future a resolution in support of passing the bill, or if you do speak with our state representatives to mention this and to see if they will as well support it and save us potentially over $1 million, I think, probably combined family and criminal court expenses.
I don't think we need to study that. I think I'd like to move it.
Okay, move to pass a resolution of support for the Fahey Bill.
Fahey Bill, it's Assembly Bill A06202.
For the state to all costs of indigent defense. And motion by Mr. Preston, do I have a second?
Second.
Unanimous second. Thank you very much.
And that's all I have unless there's any questions.
Being none, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Preston, did you want to say something about EMS?
Yes. I just want to make everyone aware that
I think most people are acutely aware that there is an EMS crisis in this county, and it's breaking budgets, and we continue to struggle as time goes on. We had a meeting, for those of you that were here maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now, with some people out of Albany. Sadly, we really didn't get anywhere. I was repeatedly told it would have to come from higher up. So I have been trying since February to arrange a meeting with those higher-ups people in the Department of Health. So this coming Thursday, here in the board room at 2 o'clock, we have several people from the Department of Health, the EMS division, coming here to meet with any board members that would have any interest in it. And Patty is working on it from the EMS side. We have, Donnie's going to be here, Patty, deputy coordinators for EMS, and some ambulance squad captains are going to be here. And we're going to try, basically the agenda is, we just want to make them very aware that this is a crisis, not only in Essex County, but everywhere in rural New York. I mean, I'm hearing it. But we want to discuss the training requirements for a basic EMT, and also make them aware that even with switching to paid staff, we cannot find EMTs to pay for coverage, which is an acute problem. And of course, the budget that goes along with it. I mean, everybody here, Willsboro just had, formed a district. I mean, the budgets are absolutely skyrocketing. And also, as part of this conversation was the feasibility of possibly a county-wide EMS system, to where maybe if we pooled our resources in the end, we could provide the coverage at less expense than everybody doing their own thing. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but we want to discuss the feasibility of it. So I know it's a little bit short notice, but it's taken me a painstakingly long time to get this set up. So Thursday at 2 o'clock here, if anyone's interested, you're certainly welcome to attend. Thanks.
Thank you, and thank you for your efforts on that, putting that together. Any motions or comments from the board? I would like to make a motion of condolences to the board and family of Willsboro and the loss of their son, most recently working for Mountain Lake Services, basically essentially died in the line of duty. Can I have a second on that? Second. Unanimous second. Thank you very much. Being no other business come before this committee,